Which mic am I hope I'm talking to the right mic. Hi, hello. It's me, the local virtual baker, Saltea Kichee. Hello, hello, hello. Hi there, Bush. I'm here over the 5-stream streak. Oh wow, look at you go. My god. You get a gold star for your dedication and help for the community. Hi. Hi though. Hi's all around. You know, are you excited for today? You're probably not as excited as me, but let me tell you, I'm excited for today. Today's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be trying to do stuff that I'm not really used to, but I also get to cook something that I'm not really used to, which is one ingredient, but I'm excited to see how this turns out. By the way, I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure how obvious it is. Oh yeah, you know that game, Zenless Zero Zone, whatever the name of that game is? I like that game. That game's fun. And I was thinking, because a VTuber told me, like, hey, you should start making food and stuff that's related to anime and video games. So I thought, yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's try and do that. They said to do Genshin Impact, but I don't like Genshin. I like Zenless more. It's more fun for me. But we're gonna be making some of the ramen just because I'm in a very ramen-esque mood. So we're gonna be trying to make some ramen from there. Ramen, noodles, whatever you want to call it. It's most likely noodles. So you'd think playing it 24/7, you remember the name. Zenless Zone Zero, yeah. Listen, that's like saying, oh yeah, I remember how to do this and that, and I go here every single day. I don't even like remember like where I live. That's a good example. I don't remember my own address. I live somewhere like over here during this part of the place, and it's like, yeah, okay. It's like, I don't know, I don't remember stuff. Just because I do it for a long time does not mean I remember. A great point is like, oh yeah, I've lived in my area, my apartment for like 2 years, but I don't care about my address. Wow. It's impossible to dox yourself. Exactly, which is also just kind of a nice hidden benefit. How do I dox myself if I don't know where I live? Yeah! But yeah, I'm kind of excited to do some ramen making. I'm gonna be trying to do something that I've never done, so we're gonna see how that turns out. That being said, I now have to diminish the quality of stream, sorry. I have to... Oh wait, first let's go to the kitchen. And here are the things we're making. Specifically, I want to see if I can make the mushroom noodles. I like mushrooms, I like the noodles, and... I don't know, I don't really have much of an explanation here. I like mushrooms. I was in the mood for mushroom noodles. So, here we are. We're gonna do some mushroom noodles. They look pretty good. Trying to decipher what's probably in it was probably the most fun thing to do, though. Because, like, I have no idea what's probably in here. The only things I was able to decipher was that there's baby bellas, sliced baby bellas, or shiitakes of some sorts, chanterelles, parsley, a fried egg, tofu, and what looks like almost red onion, shallot, or like radish. I couldn't really figure it out, so we'll see. I'll think of something on the fly. It's definitely not a fish cake, but when I do look at this bowl of noodles, I think that it's gonna be something that's kind of vegan or vegetarian at least, because there's a nice fried egg. So I'm trying to base off what this is off of, well, what's given in the game. I don't know if there's much of a description other than like, oh yeah, if you eat this, it gives you more attack damage. For this one, it gives you more physical attack damage, so there's that. So yeah, I'm gonna be making this. I'm gonna be trying to make noodles and stuff like that, but we're actually gonna be doing a lot of things. We're gonna do a lot of things to make this kind of fun, tasty even. Oh, I can actually turn, okay, wait, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on, wait a minute. Alright. That'll be a test right now. Okay, let's see. Not the USB camera, USB audio. Hello, do you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? This is a mic test. Mic test, mic test. Bush, can you tell me? Can you hear? Can you hear me? That audio, yay! Let's go. Nice, nice. Alright. Okay. Let's see. Do I have everything? Yeah. Okay. Ready to go. Ready to rock and roll, as they would say. Alright. So I would also like to mention, you probably can't see it, but I am also going to be, what is it? I'm going to be making some bread while doing today's stream, just because, of course, I would. I don't know why that would be a surprise or whatnot. But yeah. Hold on, I gotta turn on some other things real quick. I wish my thing would stop adjusting. Alright. Gonna turn that on. Go here. Hold on, I'm messing around with some things. Okay, there we go. That should be good. So, you know how I am. I'm just casually making sourdough. Though that should be a thing to say and note that this is not the thing we are doing today. So look at this beautiful sourdough. My god. The dough. It's good. I'm good with bread dough, but now this is where I do the very smooth segue and say, man, if only my noodle doughs would be just as nice. This thing is intentionally very dense. I looked up a recipe for it, and it was very, very dry. So this is what I got to work with. And honestly, this is going to be the first thing I want to work with first, because how do we make a good noodle bowl if we don't have noodles? So I want to get this done and out of the way first. Alright. Let's see here. So I'm gonna try to do like the in a low-key way, the stretch noodles that is done in the game. But at the same time, I don't really have an extremely great plan for this because, well, doing stretch noodles, for those who may or may not know, I probably should have wiped this thing down, that is something that takes a lot of practice, a lot of craftsmanship, and a lot of technique, of which that I don't have even any to begin with. I'm a bread guy, not a noodle guy, though I love eating noodles. And I'm hoping that I can get some noodles with this. I don't even think I have any sort of substitute. I actually do have some noodle substitutes I could use, but this is gonna be completely inspired off trying to make an udon of sorts. I was watching some videos beforehand, trying to get this started, like trying to understand, like, okay, what are some good tips I can try and figure out to try and make some good udon or good stretched noodles? And so far, all of them was just like practice, 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 making sure that you stretch it and all this whatnot. So it's like, okay, well, I figured that much. But oh shoot, I need to get. Hold on. There's a very important tool I need. A tool that I don't use that much, but probably should use more often. Very rare time I actually have my knife case with me too. But I need to use this little guy. A bench scraper. Should theoretically make my life easier, so. We're just gonna be here for a bit though. Gotta have to flatten out this really not tacky, but dense dough. The one thing about trying to roll out doughs though, it's just so, it's gonna take a while. Honestly, just to try and save time here, I wonder if I could just kind of cut it down and make it easier. Requires a lot of strength, let me tell you. A lot of which I do not have. But we shall continue. Oh, actually, you know, as I am doing this, let's make a let's make another component of this because I nearly forgot. It is kind of important for us to do it now, so I'm gonna make it. But we are gonna make a simple dashi. This is not gonna be like your 20-hour made dashi of like, oh, we put so much time and whatnot into it. As much as I'd love to do that, I don't believe I have the necessary ingredients to get it. And also, right now, I just unfortunately don't have the means to purchase some stuff. However, I will try and at least get the bare minimum requirements done, and then we'll add on as we need. So, I first need to add a quart of water, and I hope I have some. Hold on, I gotta get my stool. I can't reach my top. I can't reach my countertop. But, all right. I have kombu, right? Well, I need these. It's bonito flakes. So I'm gonna get some bonitos. Bonito. Oh, there it is. Kombu. Right. So I apparently need like one sheet. One sheet should be equivalent to maybe 8 grams. So there's that. Okay. Alrighty. So, my instructions told me that essentially to make this simple dashi, I gotta cut this up or break it apart. And the thinner that I make it, the more flavor can be extracted from it. And from here, I can just kind of just let it steep in the water for 15 or so minutes. And then from there, we're going to actually bring it to a very bare simmer and then take it all out. But for now, this is going to be the first part. Just like trying to break this boy up and making sure we get as much of the kombu in here. I actually want to use kombu more often, honestly. I just don't really find a general use case for it, though. If anything, I do want to try and make, like, how would you say, natural MSG with it? Because you can make a sort of MSG substitute by blending kombu in with some salt, and then you kind of like use that to season your food, and you use that basically as an MSG of sorts. Okay, so I'll put that on the stovetop. What time is it? It is... let's see here. Oh, wrong side. It is 12:45. We will wait until 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is when it will be done then. Well, until we can get to the next steps. Alright. Anyways, now that we got that out of the way, back to trying to do these stretch noodles. Gonna be a bit. If only I knew how to stretch noodles. If only I could if I could learn how to stretch noodles in a matter of if only I could condense 10 years worth of practice into 5 minutes. Can't really even use my full body weight because I don't have much body weight to begin with. And this is also made of all-purpose flour. I can only imagine what would happen if I had made this with bread flour. Since bread flour has more gluten. Jeez, I'm actually getting tired. Just gotta really go at it. Oh wait, I'm just realizing something. I'm working way too hard for something I know I can do in an easier... Okay, wait, hold on. Big brain play. I had completely forgotten about this. I forgot this was my secret third option of how I could do this. Hold on. Okay,
There it is. I had completely forgotten I had this. Alright. I have my pasta machine. Okay. Because essentially right now I'm just trying to really flatten out this one thing of pasta to a nice stretchable state. Best part is I only need to make sheets because I want to actually make and cut the thing by hand. Because I might be lazy, but I'm not going to be that lazy now. Alright. Let's see here. Will this make my life easier or will it make it harder somehow? I'm hoping the latter is not true. Come on. Come on. Little man. Are you really gonna call me little man? Really? Why? What makes me a little man? What makes you a big man, huh? Oh, I hate this thing. The clamp doesn't work. Lifty, righty-tighty. Yeah, didn't say I was. Exactly, I was gonna say, that's rich coming from you, considering your stature. You're you're actually not bigger than me at all. You're shorter. How does that make you feel, huh? Okay, hold on. I gotta do some basic DIY here, because, this thing doesn't want to work. Nothing like a little bit of Gorilla Glue to help here. Gonna really quickly try and squeeze it out. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now hopefully that should at least help out a little bit. Hopefully. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna use it though, so I'm just gonna try to brute force this still. Come on. Salty height shames viewers live on stream. Exactly, because my viewers will height shame me on stream. It's just equivalent exchange. Oh my god, this is easier, but wow, this is... I hope this doesn't break my machine. Come on. There we go. Woo. Required a lot of force. That definitely did make it thinner. By how much? I'm not exactly sure, but it definitely made it thinner. Now I need to get my pastry wheel or something. Oh, I just realized I'm so stupid. Why did I get this for my knife kit? Because I have like 20 times more. Right. Sorry, I'm practicing right now. So, the stretched noodles. Yeah, okay, so let me just go like this. And go like this. Alright, I'm not gonna try to do that. I'm done. Let me just pass it through a few more times. Maybe that'll help me out here. Okay. Here we go. Second pass. Oh, that's easier. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. Yeah, that was an easier pass. Alright, good. And I go to it a little bit thinner now. Ooh, like a roadblock. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah, dang. This is actually, like, unironically quite the workout. It's kind of fun. Alright. One more pass, and then I'm gonna tuck this away for now. There we go. And there we go. We got our not so hand-pulled, but homemade noodles that we're gonna make into udon. Alright. Let's see here. Here, I'm going to actually just like... Let me actually just cut some pieces off so I can actually have something to work with, you know? Probably put this back on now. I am, however, going to use a knife, though, just because I think it's going to be a little bit better if I use something actually a little sharper. Right. Here we go. Yeah, I could probably be doing this, like, in a different way, but I want to try and see if I can do it this way, too. Alright, so 1 become 2. If I stretch it out enough, eventually the 2 can become 4, and then the 4 becomes 8, and then the 8 becomes 16, and so on, and so on. Alright, let's see. I wish I could show this off better, but, like, I need to actually, like, get this pretty close to my body. This is actually pretty cool, though. This is pretty fun, because it's not exactly like how it is in the video I watched, but getting there. Alright, so now I can go, like, here and start playing with this. Slowly start stretching it out. Not trying to play it out too much. It definitely is getting it is definitely a lot longer than it was. You can't deny me on that. Look at how long this is now. Whoa. It kind of broke off, but ignore that. Okay. Just going to continue stretching it out at this phase. I think I was not done here. Oh, okay, I get it. I'm trying to think of, like, man, how did it not stretch correctly? Like, why am I not stretching it correctly? But now I see. Because he wasn't going... the video I was watching was, like, going like this. But I think it was just more him just stretching it out. And then what he did then was to wrap this around his fingers, going like this, and then continuing on and stretching it out. It would make sense. Like, they're pulled noodles. So, like, the pulled noodles would be pulled, not, like, you know... flung around, not flung noodles. Hi, Scav. Hi, welcome in. Oh. Well, I broke the noodle. But you know what? I'm gonna keep it. It's not horrible. It's not the best, but hey, that's a pretty good noodle. Alright, I can definitely see this technique working, though, so I'm definitely gonna move the rolling pin for now. I'll cut this dough in half, though, because I have plans for the other half. But one half of the dough, I'll keep. The other half, I will save for something else. Well, not something else, but for my contingency plan of if and only if I fail at this next part. This is very important for me to get right. This is kind of like, if I get this wrong, then I'm dumb. So, the question is, can I do it right? Was it like rolled up like this? I can't remember how this person did it. Because like I'm trying to figure out like, okay, how did they do it? Because they folded it like this or something, and then they cut their noodles. But I want to do it the other way. So like, I want long noodles. So I guess I would just go like this. One fold, and then like another fold. And then I just cut it like that? No, because then that would be long. Oh, wait, okay, I was right. Okay, I have to cut it like this. Alright, let's go. Alright, and that should be the noodles. So now at this point, this is kind of where I can start doing some stretches, I think. Almost like shaping dough, bread, if you will. Hi, Milk. Hi there, Milk. Making some noodles today. Welcome in, welcome in. I should probably get some starch. It recommended that, hey, if you don't want your stuff to stick, you should use some potato starch. So, I do actually tapioca or potato starch, and I ever so happen to have both. So, I'm getting hungry. Table for two? Yeah, sure, okay. Table for two will be like $5.99, I guess. I don't know. We only have one thing on the menu, and it's mushroom noodles. Hold on. I need to get my tapioca starch. What is this music I'm listening to? I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I'm listening to Spotify as we speak. It's like really weird. Like, why is it talking about... I actually don't know what it's talking about. Shameless. Shameless what? Advertising. Has it been... Is it 1 o'clock yet? Yeah, hey, lads, can you remind me when it's 1 o'clock? Because that's when I actually gotta turn the water on to actually make this dashi. Apparently, I'm supposed to let it steep. You could either let it steep overnight for better, more quality, rich flavor, but I want a quick 15-minute because that's the recipe I looked up. It said a quick 15-minute, so that's what we're working with here. Alright. Anyways, regardless of that, I'm gonna now try and do the difficult task of trying to stretch out these noodles. Time to fail horribly. I can't wait to show off in front of a nice group of people of how bad I am at doing this. Alright. So I'm just gonna get a few noodles here and just kind of just stretch it out, I guess. Just do some stretch and pulls. Actually, this isn't as hard as I thought it'd be. And the potato starch actually seems to make it even easier. I don't feel really too much textile strength here. Ooh, look at this. Hey, look, I'm doing it, kinda. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it around and start doing some more stretches here. Yo, actually, this is kind of cool. Look at this. I'm actually making stretch noodle. Oh, I spoke too soon. One tour. But look, other than that one, I'm actually making some stretch noodles here. Oh, that's so cool. This is actually kind of fun. Some of them are a little longer than others. But hey, I'm actually getting some noodles here. Yeah, it's just gonna be a lot of this on today's stream. Just a lot of flinging of noodles. Oh my god, look at how long they are! Okay, so look, this is how long one of the noodles are. I can't actually put it all in frame. Here, I'll try to. And this is what it used to be. It's almost doubled in size. with how much stretching I'm doing. So it's definitely working. I'm definitely stretching the noodles out. I think I'm gonna just continue doing one at a time though. I think that might be the best goal here. It's 1 o'clock now. Thank you. Alright. I'm going to put this bowl here, this pot on, and we're gonna get it to a bare simmer. So the moment once I start seeing bubbles on the bottom is when I start. Actually, no, it's 15. I think it's like 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. Well, anyways, let's continue stretching out noodles. This is actually so fun. I like this. This definitely seems like a very fun thing to do with kids, you know? If I ever have kids in the future, I'm definitely gonna say, hey, do you want something fun to eat? Let's make some udon. Like, look, this is fun. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's like doing jump rope. But I'm just stretching this out right now. Trying to get nice, thin, round noodle. Okay, well, I guess I gotta try and be careful. I don't want to be too rough on them. Alright. Now I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna see if I can stretch it out even more. Yeah, I think it's like gentle movements. Gentle as I start going like this now. Yeah, I've never done something like this before. Doing stretched noodles. I'm probably not doing it how they should traditionally be, but this is still kind of fun. It's pretty neat. Definitely not something that I do at my workplace, just because our workplace is a lot more high speed and stuff like that. So with stuff like that being more high speed, high strung, we're not going to really have the quality of time on our sides, and that tore into half. But that's still a pretty good noodle, so I'll leave that there. It's probably about the size of what I'm going to cut the noodles to be inevitably, so... let's put all our noodles... Alright, let me just, like, stretch this one out. No, never mind. Alright, there are just gonna be some longer than others, and that's fine. Oh, okay, well, we're gonna just continue on, carry on. Alright. Just gonna grab these three here. I'm actually gonna do something I kind of observed in the video, because it looks like, at first, in the video I was watching, that the guy that was making this was actually making, like, a nice little area to where he kind of pinched all the noodles together, and then he just started to stretch them out just like this. So then they're kind of more controlled, I guess. Let's see how this works. Alright, well that's one noodle that's a little shorter. That'll be in this batch. Oh, that's another one that broke. Maybe I should let them rest. I don't want them to dry out though, so that's the thing. Yeah, this I can definitely see how this could take like 10 years of hard work and dedication. Definitely not something you can learn overnight, let me tell you. It's fun to do stuff like this though, when you like have no idea how to do something, and it's like, man, this seems so easy for some people. It kind of makes you appreciate food and where it comes from a bit more. Because like the technique to actually get the right kind of shape without doing something like what I'm doing and stretching it out too far that it breaks, that's a real skill right there. Makes you really interested to see how that happens. Alright, that's good enough. It shows you the technique and the skill that goes behind this kind of stuff. And you just gotta respect it where it all comes from too. Like udon, yeah, you can probably think of it as just something like simple and small and like, wow, it's so easy. It's so easy for them to mass produce because you see it so often. But then if you try and make something at home and you see like it actually is like a very intensive thing to make by hand, and think about like where it came from, it's like really, it's kind of like a fun journey. It's almost like when you do something like this, you're almost like not reinventing, but almost like rediscovering it in some regard. Because it's just something that, you know, I'm not used to. Because usually when I would make pasta, for instance, I'm going to be using it through a machine. So to go back into the roots in that in some regard of like making it by hand with no pasta machine or whatnot, it's kind of fun. It's kind of interesting to see how probably it used to be just made back in the time when you didn't have that kind of stuff in equipment. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes for me and food, I really like history when it comes to the food. When it comes to food, it's nice to know where stuff came from, how it was conceived, or how it was started, how it was trying to be made. And it's even more interesting of how, like, oh yeah, this is how we actually now mass produce it now, because something like this that takes so much delicate time and effort, you can that was me, chat, that was me. You kind of find out that, yeah, it's been mass produced now. That was me, chat, that was me. Anyways. It was quite hard. It's a good bit of anthropology to everything we learn. Yeah. Alright. That's good enough for me, I think. Could it be better? Yeah. Definitely could be worse. I am really having fun with this, though, so that's all that matters. I definitely don't think I could do more than, like, this much, though. 3 seems to be my limit. 1 and 2 seem to be, like, where I am with my skill level. This is cool, though. Something I kind of saw in the making of this video, on the watching of the video, though, was that essentially you want to make sure you're not stretching the dough, like ripping it apart, but you kind of want to work with it almost. It's almost like how I make sourdough in that regard, because you're trying to be very careful. You're not trying to break the dough intentionally, but you're still trying to work with it enough to where you can actually almost work together with it and stretch it out into manipulate it into a way that you'll still like it. And if you go too hard, like how I just did, you'll ruin it. Stupid. Idiot. Damn, I'm dumb. Why did I break it? Anyways. I think that's also something that kind of makes food pretty good too. Like if you buy food and whatnot, I think the difference between good food and really good food is adding the human elements into a dish. Like, how was this made was this made by hand? Was it made by machine? Was it made fresh and whatnot, you know? Might be thinking a little bit too deep about it. Because, like, if you can make something fresh regardless, it's gonna be delicious. But, like, the idea and thought in my head of oh yeah, a person actually made this. A person actually put their time and effort into this. I think there's something beautiful to that. Oh, it hasn't been 15 minutes? No, it hasn't been. Okay, sorry. Who am I saying sorry to? Yeah, I gotta let this simmer for 15 minutes. Alright. Well, let's try and speed run the rest of this noodles here. Alright. So anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, human aspect in food. I kind of like the idea that, hey, a person made this, or like, a person just made all of this by hand, no help from a machine, and, you know, it's not like I'm gonna go to a restaurant and say, hey, did a person make this? Was it made through a machine? Was it frozen or whatnot? But you can definitely tell. Okay, first of all, I'm not gonna ask that, because that's just kind of weird and obnoxious and like really hoity-toity. But it's more or less just the idea of like, hey, The idea of it, at least, like you can definitely taste when someone's putting love and effort into their craft, and then you can also tell when it's like, okay, this is just kind of good. This is amazing food, and it's just that amazing food with some good love. I don't really know where I'm going with this. Making food fresh is good. TLDR. Were you listening? I hope you weren't, because I wasn't listening to myself. It almost seems like I'm a professional right now, huh? Look at me, know what I'm doing, flinging my noodles around like this. Whoa. Alright, there's one noodle I'm just gonna take from this little batch here. It's being quite annoying. And it's long enough, so I'm happy and satisfied with it. Alright. Yeah, to master something like this would be a fun skill. It seems so difficult, but it also seems so easy at the same time. Easy in the sense of like you're just stretching out noodles. Like in a simplistic sense, this is very straightforward. You're stretching out noodles, you're banging it against the board. But you kind of realize that this does probably require so much technique and skill. And also not just that, but also another thing that's probably the reason to the quality of this at the end of the day is also the quality of the dough. The dough quality is probably not even that good in the grand scheme of it. I just found this online, and the video I was watching that there's no measurements. There's nothing to do with that. You kind of just feel it in the sense of how much you've made the dough. So, in that regard, it's like, yeah, I'm doing this wrong because this probably just doesn't feel right. This probably isn't right. But I don't really know that know-how. I don't really know if it feels good or not, but I'm just kind of going with my heart. Okay. I think these are going to be the best ones I've done. These are pretty long pulled noodles. Alright, cool. Just gonna stretch them out just a tad more and then go like this around my hands, act like I'm professional. Wow, look at me go. Stretching it out, going like whipping it back and forth too. Alright. But yeah, there we go. Those are the hand-pulled noodles. So it's not the best. Though I also can't say they're not actually that bad either. They're probably bad in like the eyes of a master at this, but for an intermediate guy such as myself that knows not what I'm doing, I feel like they're okay. I'm gonna try and cut these down a bit more. Actually, you know what? No, there'll just be some fun long noodles in this bowl as well. Alright. I'll just have my little batch of noodles right there. Actually, how much is this? I want to know how many ounces, because I want to try and not portion, but like, I want to know how much I'm going to make here. Almost 4 ounces. Okay, it felt like 4 ounces. Well, then I might as well do all the noodles then. That being, I'm going to do this too, so. Oh, so I guess I should also talk about this thing as well. The mushroom noodles. Hold on, I'm trying to think about the mushroom noodles. So, the mushroom noodles seems like a really fun thing to make, obviously. But I think the most interesting about this thing, about the mushroom noodles, is the inclusion of chanterelle mushrooms. I forgot the name of the guy who owns the noodle shop, but man, if he's able to get himself some chanterelles, he must be making bank. Chanterelles are not exactly your easy to get by food. Easy to get by shrooms here. They're very difficult to get your hands on. They're not something that you can really farm. They're hard to forage for, Some people are very territorial about it. They're kind of like dollar store truffles, if you will, in the sense of rarity and luxury. But yeah, they're very sought after, often used in high quality, high end meals. And I have actually two means to I have two kinds of chanterelles we can use today. And you must think that I must have a lot of money, because I was just saying like, oh yeah, chanterelles are hard to get, but the one option is actually cheap, relatively cheap in the grand scheme of it, so. While the other one, I just was really lucky in managing on trying to find something cheap. And I also only got a few in comparison to the dried mushrooms I got, because that's what I got. I got some dried mushrooms, while the other mushrooms I got are the fresh stuff. The real deal, if you will. Okay, before I get into that, it's been 15 minutes, so I gotta take the kombu out. Alright, so the next part of this recipe, it was very important from what I could tell, is that the next part of this recipe is to actually get the bonito flakes and then let them steep, like tea almost. So the means of making this dashi is almost like making a very nice tea, if you will. A seaweed and fish flake, I think they're fish flakes. I forgot what bonito flakes are exactly. Alright, I need my smaller tongs. Alright, so it's said to now, to specifically not stir the bonito flakes, because I imagine that's probably going to ruin it, but it's said to actually try to submerge them like tea. So what it means by that is just to like throw them in and then press them down, but they're already sinking to the bottom there, so that's good. Alright, well, I think we're going to let them steep as long as I can. And while that's happening, I'm going to see if I can stretch out the rest of these noodles. These noodles might be a little easier to stretch, actually, because we actually let them rest a bit. So maybe something can happen with it. Alright. Let's see. Okay, I don't want to say anything, but so far, nothing has broken. I can definitely feel it in my thumbs though, like, yeah, some of them are stretching, but also, a lot of them aren't stretching too. Yeah, imagine having that skill to actually, like, being able to make everything evenly flat. I can only imagine. I also just trying to think this down in my head. But, like, I know that I definitely want to try to get a nice bowl of ramen when I go to Japan. Pretty sure I've talked about it, but I'm planning a Japan trip. So I want to see if I can get myself a good bowl of soba, because I think soba is very prevalent in Japan. And udon, and ramen, and all that sort of stuff. So, you know. Definitely on the list of things to do when I get there. Yeah, this is a lot of effort just to put into some noodles though, no? I know not everyone would want to do this, but you see, I'm not like everyone. I'm worse. I'll put unnecessary effort into things that you don't want, that you would probably just be able to buy for $5. Like, I know some people probably have an argument like, oh, it's so worth it though, because you're saving so much money. But also, I don't know. I can also see the charm for some things to be a lot just like, just buy it. I was half tempted to actually go buy udon noodles and such, but I kind of wanted to at least try to make some udon. Or the hand stretch noodles. Alright, that seems good. Something I also want to do, I'm just thinking about out loud, but to make the noodle, I want to see if there's a way to go look for shops, classes, like making a noodle, like an udon class or cooking class at Japan. I'm not sure if udon is specifically Japanese. I think it's like more Chinese than anything, though. But there's stuff I want to do, but I also just don't know how to arrange that stuff too. So it's like, I'd love to go do this, but ooh, I don't know. So, you know, stretching noodles right now is completely fine with me. I'm gonna try and do this in a way that makes sense to me. Stretching in a way that is kind of productive, but also still has a nice way of stretching it out without stretching it out too much. Because there's a thing about making pasta, which is what I'm trying to really base a lot of what I'm doing right now on, to where you don't want to use your fingertips and stuff like that. You want to use the curved parts around your body to help stretch it out. Because when you do that, you're actually making it less likely for things to tear. So if you're able to use all the curvatures of your body, I guess, you can actually use that to make a much more, a much more easier time for stretching noodles. But not just sense of stretching noodles, but if you were making pasta, you want to make sure that you're being very careful with it, very delicate with it. Not using your fingertips, but you want to like rest it on your hands like this, or like on your wrists even, just because there's not many ridges as your fingers, and the ridges will just make your pasta tear. Yes, this is a pasta teaching class now. This actually looks good too, I'm not gonna lie. Huh. I guess a majority of the work, because I'm also trying to rationalize here. Like, yeah, you know, this looks great and all, but like, why is it not as long as I want it to be? Why can't I stretch it out more? But I guess I really don't need to, considering the idea that, they are actually kind of, in a sense, stretched out to into some sort of length. Alright. Is this your own recipe, or are you following something? Well, the recipe to make the noodles, I did follow one online. It was 400 grams of all-purpose flour, 150 grams of water, and then 20 grams of salt. That's all it is. There's a beauty with that, I think. A beauty of how simplistic it is of the recipe to make some noodles. Now, granted, if these noodles are going to be greater or greater than or less than what you could buy at the store or the shops, that's that's subjective. We don't know. Well, I don't know, at least. So. Oh, and also the same thing with the dashi broth. I don't know how to make dashi, but I do know that like you could make a very dumbed down simplistic one, and that is the one I found. Alright. Gonna try and stretch these three out a bit more. Not too much so. Alright. These look, they're okay-ish. They're not the best, as I've already said, but they look good. They look okay. That's all you can really ask, no? Right. Here, as I'm stretching these last noodles, I should actually try and cook them too, no? I'm not sure how it would affect it, but I'm gonna just cook it in a saute pan, just because there's not many noodles. And I'm lazy. Alright. I'm also not gonna salt the water, just because the pasta has quite a bit of salt in it already. Sorry, not pasta. The noodles have already a bit of salt in there, so I'm just worried of over salting it. Oh, that one broke. Oh, also I'm using a saute pan just because I'm lazy. A saute pan should boil faster than using an entire pot of water, so that's also the reason of what I'm doing. I'm going to mushroom tor noodles. Mushroom tor noodles? I don't know what that is. Alright. There we go. We have our assorted noodles here. Noodles 1 and Noodles 2. Could they be better? 100%. But you know what? I'm satisfied with how they turned. Anyways, so the next bit of things and preparation we need to do... Well, first I'm gonna go to the garden real quick. I need some parsley, because there is some parsley in the recipe in that picture. I should also feel like I mentioned that a lot of this is being based off of just visuals. I'm not sure if there's any real preparations, but just kind of visually going off by eye. One sec, I'm gonna go outside. Okay. I love having my little garden here, it's great. Go outside, grab a bit of parsley or whatnot I need. It's great. Alright. Gotta lock myself up. Alright. Sorry, I didn't mean to take that long in the garden there, but... Oh, is this working? Oh, yep, I unplugged it. Whoops. Okay. Clumsy me. Alright. Okay, let me try and redo the camera. There we go. So anyways, I have gotten a small bunch of parsley. Here we are. Nice bunch of parsley that I've grown. I'm very proud of this, by the way. I've grown these all from seeds, alright? Small little seeds I've grown them from. Hi, Mahler. Welcome in. Regardless if I've grown them or not, I still gotta wash them. Always wash your herbs, especially if you home grow it. You definitely don't know what can go upon them one day, you know? Alright. So it's actually kind of a bold statement that the chef makes, because he puts an entire, almost like, branch, if you will, of parsley in the soup. So I'm gonna leave it like this. This is gonna be our parsley we're gonna use for our soup here. I'll keep the other parsley in case I change my mind. So let's prepare the other ingredients for our thing here. I'm gonna put this into... You know what? I'll par cook the noodles right now. It's just best to cook them now, so then when I want to do them again, I just throw them in some water, and then we're good and dandelions and daisies. Alright. It's boiling, so I'm gonna put the noodles in now. Okay, maybe if I only did half the bunch, I probably should have done it. It would have been fine doing it in the pan. But I should have done this in a pot now that I really look at it. Alright. Anyways, let's get the big boys out. The chanterelles. And the button mushrooms that we're fine still. Oh, perfect. Cool. So, I got some chanterelles right here. Let me tell you, I was able to nab these for pretty good. So I got some of these, I put them in a little container, and it's just to see if I could preserve them longer. But these are the real deal, like, chanterelles. So, they're pretty nice. I've never had a chanterelle before, so today's gonna be the first. I'm excited to see how they turn out. I'm gonna just continue to mix these around until they are cooked. It's gonna be kind of hard, because usually the best way to tell when a noodle is cooked is when they start floating. But since there's no amount of water for them to, like, float up to, it's gonna be kind of weird in that regard. It also shows that they use some baby bellas, which is what I'm gonna use these for, the brown mushrooms here. Usually you don't need to wash mushrooms, but since these are small baby bellas that they're not in, like, their little, what is it? They're not in their, what is it? Like, little baskets and whatnot already portioned out. I'm going to just lightly wash them under some water. I'm also going to pick out the stems here. And actually, I think the smartest thing to do, actually, is actually throw these mushroom stems into the dashi. It'll add some nice earthiness, some umami, some other sort of flavor that we could use into the dashi, since it's kind of going to be a very bare bones dashi. So giving it some help wherever it can is going to be nice for it. Speaking of which, let's add the parsley. There's a little bit more oomph, a little bit more flavor. Alright. Let me see. Let's taste these. Let's taste the noodle. Alright, let's see here. Oh. Needs like a few more seconds, but yeah, that's a really good noodle, actually. Alright. So, I got 2 big mushrooms, and with these 2 big mushrooms, I'm actually going to cut them down. They're still technically baby bellas, so it'll be fine. But they are going to be the mushrooms that are cut up. I'm looking up the picture of reference that I put on stream because that's kind of my reference point right now. But I'm pretty much using that as reference here. The middle stem is still intact, so I'm actually gonna just leave that as is. These mushrooms are gonna leave, but I'm gonna just very carefully now try to cut this mushroom with the stem still on. So we can get that iconic look. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So I think I'm gonna probably cook them down very lightly. I think that's really the best, not the best, but it's gonna be the thing I'm gonna do with all these mushrooms. I'm just gonna give them like a nice little roast into a pan. Maybe a bit of sesame oil, if anything. I'm gonna throw the rest of these mushrooms in there so I can reutilize my scraps. And also just still buff up my dashi a little bit. Alright. It's been a good amount of time. I'm gonna test another noodle here. Ooh, they're nice and stretchy. Oh yeah, that's like almost done, and I want that. Alright. Gonna take this, throw it into my colander, and wash off the noodles. That was something I was also noticing while I was watching the video too. Apparently they were washing the noodles too, which was interesting. I guess to wash off the starch and make it a bit more of a pleasant experience to try out, but very interesting. Alright. Alright. So we got two more things to do. Cooking the mushrooms and making two more things. First things first, I'm gonna start cooking up the mushrooms a bit. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy, but I am just going to be adding a bit of soy and a bit of sesame, just because I'm biased and I love sesame oil. Adds a nice nuttiness, obviously, because it has the sesame seed flavor, you know? I'm a sucker for sesame seeds, if you don't know. I love sesame seeds. So I'm gonna just be carefully cooking off these mushrooms. I want to make sure I have a few of these mushrooms that are like this, that have the stem and all, so they have that visual look too. But the mushrooms that are sliced like this, we can hide them in between, and then we can reutilize that into the stacking of all the mushrooms. Since you can see every individual mushroom in said thing, but doing that can help show off, what is it? Not show off, but like, make it look more full, the bowl of ramen we're about to make. Gonna add a bit of salt here. Smell that nice sesame flavor. The aroma of that nice sesame. It's toasted sesame oil, I believe. So nice toasty sesame scent to it all. These mushrooms are probably not meant to be cooked for this ramen, this soup. They don't even really look cooked, to be honest. But I just want to lightly cook them, if anything. Help soften them up a bit, imbue them with a bit more flavor, and stuff like that, you know? And since I made them so thin, they don't need that long to cook either. So, I'll do that. And I'm actually gonna cook the mushrooms, those small babies, and the chanterelles together like this. So I feel like since we're using chanterelles, and they're real fancy, and you know, whenever I think of chanterelles for whatever reason, I think of France. My obvious instinct in that regard, and also this will add some nice richness to the soup, just because the ramen, because of course. I'm going to be heinous and add some butter. I'm almost gonna like cook them how you would like a baste a steak. So I'm gonna add some of that, and you know what? Actually, Let me go back outside and grab some time so I can actually properly baste them. Watch the pan for me. Don't burn it, okay? Don't burn. Don't burn. Okay. Nothing is burning. Is everything fine over there? I wasn't gone for too long, so hopefully you guys didn't burn my kitchen down, right? Perfect. Everything looks good. Good job, lads. Alright, I got some of my fresh thyme that I've been growing, and we're just gonna throw that in as we are cooking everything. It's gonna add a nice bit of herbaceousness to it all, a bit of that nice thyme flavor. And I'm just gonna be kind of flipping these mushrooms every now and then. Just cooking these mushrooms in a bit of butter, and then not basting, but making sure I stir them up all of them, so we can get a nice bit of that thyme flavor, so they cook evenly as well. Just making sure that they're all together, you know? Gonna flip the mushroom so I can flip the underside and cook the tops as well. Bit of nice color, flavor, everything you'd want. Yeah, I can't really baste it. There's not that much fat or water or anything in there already. So I'm gonna actually add just a touch of oil. And a little bit more salt, actually. Alright. Gonna stir it together like that. Hear a bit of the snapping and crackling of the herbs starting to get cooked. So that's good. And right now, let me tell you of how what's smelling right now. I'm smelling like a nice umami, like toasted mushroom smell, and the herbs, the parsley is like, not parsley, the thyme is like really, really like fragrant right now. And if you know the smell of thyme, you'll know like this is like one of the best scents to ever smell. I'm gonna put some of this oil and butter on top of the portobellos and put them in there so it helps cook them a bit. So that's kind of a basting, if you will. A very good baster. Let that do their thing. Tops are already pretty cooked, and let that do its thing. Chanterelles look amazing, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, I think that might be that. I'm actually gonna start arranging the mushrooms here, my sauteed sliced mushrooms, into a way that they're like arranged onto the bowl. If I have them pre-arranged, it'll make it easier to put them into my bowl. So I'm gonna just preemptively start doing that. And yeah, like the ugly ones, I'm gonna put in the back, and that's just gonna add like a, what is it? It's just gonna add a bit of volume. Okay. I'm just trying to make the mushrooms look pretty here. It's always funny to see how much liquid the mushrooms lose, just because, for those who may or may not know, mushrooms do have a lot of water. So when you cook them out, you're taking out water, and when you do that, you're just generally taking out a lot of liquid and whatnot. Alright, that looks good. I'm gonna put all the mushrooms into my little container here. Actually, you know what? I'll leave the baby bellas in there because they're a little big. So they're probably gonna cook longer. But my chanterelles here, they're small. They're losing up their shape. they probably could cook longer and whatnot, but I do want to still see them when I put them in the soup. Ramen. Can you tell I'm having a hard time deciphering if this is a noodle? It's just a noodle bowl. Alright. Actually, you know, the thing is, I'm going to actually move this into a different pan. And there will be a reason to why, but for now, just trust the process. I'm gonna leave the herbs and whatnot in there. I'm gonna try and get as much of the fat in here as well. And I'm just gonna flip them back onto the other side. The top I don't want to cook too much, but the bottom I do. So, the top is the visuals, it's the pretty part, it's the stuff that I'm gonna see. So I'm gonna try to make sure that I have that, keeping its pristine look. Alright. This kitchen already smells amazing right now, let me tell you. You can smell some, you can smell like the herbs, the fragrancy of the herbs, a bit of the mushroom. Alright. I could actually, I'll leave the herbs in. I was gonna say, I could probably take the herbs out, but they're probably fine. Ow. We definitely still have a bit of kick to them still, so there we go. Let them do their thing, finish that off. Alright, what are we missing here? Ah, yes, of course, tofu. How do you guys feel about tofu? Because I know that tofu is not a extremely loved by many object. But I personally really like tofu. So I got some organic, extra firm tofu. Just because I imagine it would be like extra firm or whatnot, so. Extra firm would just be nicer to work with as well, so. Yeah, there you go. I've rarely had it, so I don't really have an opinion on it. Fair enough. And that's kind of a good way of looking at food that you don't eat, I guess. I feel like a lot of people would say, like, oh, I hate tofu. Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I hate tofu because it's like a meat substitute and blah. But tofu is a lot more than just a meat substitute, I think. I personally think. It is just kind of an ingredient at the end of the day. Okay, they're like little small squares like that. Wow, he really used a lot of the tofu here, huh? I'll make like a tofu stir fry later, I guess. Just trying to cut it enough so I can fit it into my container here. Alright. I'll put that back in my refrigerator, and I'll figure out what to do with this tofu later. Alright, we got our tofu. I think the mushrooms are finished at this point, so I'm gonna take the herbs out since they look pretty cooked and crispy. I'm gonna start taking the mushrooms out too. You definitely feel, and they very much look cooked on the bottom. And at this point, I have expertly let the dashi rest for long enough, or steep long enough with the bonito flakes and such in it. So now, this is where I actually have to get a paper towel. And oh, actually, wait, I have my knife case. Okay. We're gonna make this real nice. So, hold on, I need to get my small strainer, just because it's not that much. And there's no point of me getting my big one if I'm doing it right into the bowl. Okay. try and strain out the bonito flakes because I want this to be nice and fine. I'm gonna use. I would have used cheesecloth, but I don't have cheesecloth, so paper towel works best. Is the next best thing. And now the udon. I'm gonna grab some of the noodles, put that in the bowl first. Actually, I could probably put all of it in. Yeah, I could put it all in. This is my lunch. It's fine. Might actually be my dinner too. This is gonna be pretty hefty of a meal. All right, bring that in. I'm going to now press. Actually, here, let me actually wet my towel a bit. There we go. So now it can actually fit a bit more. And now let me just very carefully. Hold on. I'm gonna actually try to make this manageable here. I'm gonna pour it into my container first because it's easier to pour from my container into the bowl from a smaller container and a smaller strainer. Oh, this is gonna take a long time. All right, hold on. Let me get another container. Should I just strain it? No, let me try one more time. I'm gonna use another paper towel, but like cut it in half. All right. This is just to make sure that no fine granules actually get through. So that's why I'm trying to be very pedantic with it. Imagine someone making ramen like this, jeez, or a noodle bowl like this. Just take a little. It's a little bit. How'd you say, extra? It's like if you got a cappuccino or something and they like strained it like 20 times over or something. I don't know. Do they do that for cappuccinos? I don't know. I should actually be showing this a bit more onto the screen here. I keep forgetting that my camera here doesn't show off everything I'm doing. Here, let me just flip my board around. So currently what I'm doing, I'm just straining the liquid through this paper towel so that none of these granules of the bonito flakes get through. So all the flavor gets passed, but not the actual granulates, if you will. What are you making today? I am making mushroom noodles from Zenless Zone 0. Or something that is kind of very heavily inspired off it. There we go. I'll just use another paper towel. Alright. One more. There we go. You can definitely see the noodles that are submerged now. Okay. Maybe a little touch too much, actually. Hold on. Let me get my ladle here. Oh. Here, I'm just gonna really quickly try and ladle some of the water liquid out. Oh. There we go. Alright, so now it looks like it's supposed to be like smothered with ingredients. Just because on the idea of, you can't actually see the noodles too much in the actual dish itself. So, Probably also would help if I had a bigger bowl, but oh, I do have a bigger bowl. It's a very wacky bowl. It looks like something you would see at like a American Mexican restaurant, I guess, but has more volume. Just don't look at the sides. Don't look at the sides. There we go. That's nice. And now I can add the rest of the stock here. Okay. Now let's see here. There seems to be some mushrooms off here on the side here. Yeah, actually, I want to actually. I'm actually gonna try and get some more of the liquid out. I want to make sure all the ingredients are gonna be resting nicely. All right, mushrooms. Put even more mushrooms on the side right here, in the center. Tofu in the middle. Get some of these nicely cooked chanterelles onto the side here. Alright, so far so good. We're missing just two more things. Actually, a few more things, but that's why I actually moved all the oil into my little saute pan here. Because now that oil that I have, I'm going to be using that flavored oil that we've been using and frying my egg in it. There we go. Gotta make sure I cook this low and slow, because this egg on the picture I'm using for reference here was like expertly made. Like there's no browning. It's like a nice sunny side egg. So I'm gonna be very quick, but try and be very careful with it though. I'm also trying to be very careful in the regard that I want to make this small and not too big. So that's why I'm kind of like almost folding it upon itself here. Oh, there's a bit of leaf there. Don't worry, I'm gonna eat these little small pieces there. But I'm doing this for the sense of perfectionism. One would say like, oh, if you were trying to make it perfect, then you should have I don't know, you should have used a ring mold or whatnot, and they're right. But honestly, I'm too lazy for that. Simply said, I'm just too lazy to get that done like that. So I'm just trying to like very carefully like scrape off any of the white so I can cook it as quickly as possible without getting too much color, of course. There we go. Alright. So now I'm going to very carefully lift it up here. Alright, here we go. Oi, okay, almost got it. Just kind of leaning off to the side now. There we go. I want the mushrooms to be more prevalent, so I'll put that there. And of course, the parsley stem. There we go. It's not bad, it's not horrible. I think it looks okay, actually. Okay. Oh geez, I got a lot of cleaning to do later. Alright. I'll leave the other bits of parsley like right here. Trying to make it even look a little longer by doing this. There we go. And there we go. Mushroom bowl from Zenless Zone 0. Alright, I want to take a picture of this, because this actually looks pretty good. How close to the actual thing? Not really that close, honestly. Just because I don't think I have the right bowl and whatnot. Oh, wait. Of course, there's one more secret ingredient, because at the end of the animation, every single animation of getting the noodles and whatnot, he sprinkles something on top of all of it. So, in my head, I think adding just a bit of MSG helps add and elevate a lot of flavor here. So, it's gonna add that secret sparkle, that secret little ingredient to add a little bit of flavor, some MSG. The egg crack was smooth. Thank you. So there we go. There we have it. Just like that, I guess the dish. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna move stuff around. Ah! Okay. Huh. There we go. There we have it. I've essentially just made the noodles from Zenless Zone, and I think it looks pretty good. The bowl itself looks very pretty. The mushrooms are really nice to look at because they're mushrooms. It's very simple. Tofu is tofu. It's all very simple stuff that's on top of it, but it's really what makes this all together. So here, I'm gonna actually have a bit of. I got a small spoon here that I got from a takeout one night. So here, let me try and taste the broth. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised. Despite how little time and effort I put into the broth, it's extremely flavorful. It's rich. And I guess it's also because clean, it's light. That's actually really nice. Wow. Okay. Well, here. I'm more interested, honestly, with the noodles here. So I'm gonna just not try and be very fancy here. I'm just gonna try to get the noodles and yeah, those noodles are good. They're not bad. I bet if they were more made nice, if they were made more nicely, they'd probably be very great. But those are actually pretty good fresh noodles. Chewy. They're slightly chewy, bouncy, cooked nicely. And now let me try and eat some of the mushrooms now. It is a mushroom bowl, so it only makes sense to actually eat the mushrooms with it. That nice earthy umami flavor from the baby Bella there, when I crunched into it too, because it was still slightly raw, but I think that adds a nice crunch factor too. Oh yeah, I feel like this should be obvious, but there's gonna be a lot of slurping. So if you don't like slurping, I'm letting you know. You might wanna close stream for a moment. Alright. Those chanterelles are actually quite nice too. Kind of sweet, almost fruity. But not sweet like sugar sweet, but natural sweet, you know? Oh yeah, let me crack the egg and mix that together too. Let me get some of this tofu too. Why not? Yeah, you can't go wrong with a good thing of tofu. Since the broth is nice and warm, the tofu is kind of a fun contrast with it all. Alright. I'm gonna commit myself to a big bite here, so I'm actually gonna take my microphone off so I don't like annoy you all. Ah! Sorry, I'm actually also throwing stuff into my dishwasher real quick. One moment. Alright. Alright. Okay. Ah, yeah, this is delicious. It's so good, though. Oh my god. Ah. Alright. I'm gonna try and get everything in one bite here. Try to, at least. Oh, it's so hard. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna actually send you guys my BRB real quick, because I actually do want to get to my desktop so we can actually talk now. But I'll get a picture too. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna send you guys on BRB. We'll be right back in just a moment. I'm gonna change screens. One sec. Okay, and we're back. Oh, why am I looking up so much? Let me fix it up. Okay, cool. So this was the picture I took. I think it looks pretty good. Side by side. I mean,
if you look at it, one is more crowded than the other. So it's fine. I think it looks good. Maybe it's because the parsley is also hiding the chanterelles a bit too much, but I think it's fine. Yeah. So now that it's done. Wow, I'm actually... Wait, that took an hour and 46 minutes to make? No, I actually am sometimes really surprised about how quickly I can make stuff like this, but like, I'm surprised even. That's not that much time. It's not that much time to make something actually so flavorful and tasty like this. Ah. Just gonna enjoy my time though. No. Oh, I'm getting really close, sorry. I'm like looking my head like over the bowl here. Ah. So, how do you think I do though? What do you think? Do you think I did a pretty good one-to-one? Or at least try to make it in real life? If anything, the thing to probably make it better, to make it more like the actual mushroom noodles, is probably not using chanterelles. Maybe actually the better thing to probably use would probably be chicken of the woods. Those are orange, and it kind of looks like that this is kind of one cluster on its own, instead of separate little things. But it's kind of interesting, because the screenshot version I took of it in the game, it doesn't look like chicken of the woods. It looks like chanterelles. So it's like, what do I try and go for here? The noodles also look a lot better than mine, obviously, because they're games, and like in anime and stuff, you can make that stuff look perfect. But I'm also just an intermediate lad, so I don't know how to make any of that, make noodles really good. But yeah, I think I did good though. I think it looks pretty okay. If I were to make this again, I probably would get like a better udon. I would actually like get some like proper done udon and stuff. That would probably make it better. Perhaps even put a little bit of time into making a better dashi too. Like making a dashi less time than like 15 minutes, you know? Because apparently from the recipe I was given, you can actually let the kombu sit overnight, and then let simmer it for a bit, and that makes the flavor a lot better and whatnot. But obviously I didn't do that because I wanted to compact this all into one nice 2-hour stream, honest in perspective. But too fast, too quick. Now the question is now, do I make another bowl of noodles sometime soon? Not like probably next week or the week coming, because I think I'm good on noodles. I don't think I want to eat anymore. This really did hit my like, what is it? hit me right in the good spots because I really have been wanting some noodles recently. I think it's hit the spot. So yeah, sorry that I'm also not eating this like on camera, like on like the actual live camera. If I want to eat a bowl of noodles, it's something that I kind of need to put my head in front of because I just don't feel like making a mess. And we know what I think about being a VTuber. I don't exactly want to show my face, so I'm good. I don't really want to do that. To give you good quality content and also having me eat my food, I have to sacrifice not showing you my face. I'm sorry. Oh man. It's so filling, but I want to finish my bowl because it's a lot of stuff and I don't want to go to waste. It's also kind of interesting just because I'm now able to actually taste it side by side to each other. But it's kind of interesting how a baby Bella or mushrooms kind of have the same texture as tofu. Never really kind of able to put that in perspective or whatnot, but of how they're in the same bowl here and I'm kind of eating it side by side. They kind of have the same texture. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to eat dinner now. This is a whole meal. Alright. One last big old slurp. Ah, ah, that's good. I just ate that entire bowl by myself. My God. Oh, that was good. I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to need to eat for a week now. Jeez. I'm gonna gain 50 pounds from this now. Alright, give me a sec. I need to like I need a second here. I eat so quickly. And now it's like, I just need like a second to rest. I'm pretty sure this is very much a guy thing, because from what I was told, I eat really quickly. But like, relatively speaking, like I eat kind of normal. And from what some guys told me when I was eating with them, like I eat normally. I think guys just eat quicker than girls, I guess. Like women, we eat really quickly. And also how I work in a kitchen, I like to just scarf food down my throat because I don't really necessarily would have time to relax and sit down and enjoy a meal. And even if I want to, I forgot how to do that. That I'm already by myself, already analytical. In the sense that I'm already enjoying the food. Just my perception of me enjoying that is a lot quicker than, like, I don't know, someone delicately doing it. I'm also delicately, like, tasting, enjoying every single quality of that, but, like, okay, let me give you the full rundown of all what that whole thing tasted, though. Oh man, that was yummy. That was so good. Okay, so that dashi, the simple dashi was so good. It was nice and flavorful, but it wasn't, like, overbearingly rich like a nice chicken stock. It was almost like if it was just a nice light veggie stock with just a nice touch of flavor of like I don't know. It's just like no so nice and rich. And also like kind of lightly salty and such. Just like perfect. The mushrooms, perfectly flavorful, nice bit of texture. It was very soft. It was a very nice chew. The sliced mushrooms that were toasted, that were sauteed a bit in the sesame oil, you can very much taste the mushroom, but the sesame oil is also strong enough to pale through. Oh my god, it was delicious though. My god, let me tell you, so good, so tasty. The umami, the nice little bits of flavor from the MSG, because I feel like the MSG did contribute a lot of flavor. It's just kind of more of like underlining notes. The noodles too, they were pretty important. It was almost like half the dish. They were so nice, chewy and bouncy and like nice and flavorful. Despite not being cooked in salted water, they were perfectly flavored. The chanterelles, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of left underwhelmed. Underwhelmed because the chanterelles kind of didn't taste like much. They kind of tasted like normal mushrooms, if you will. So interesting, I guess. Maybe they were good chanterelles that I bought, or maybe they were even chanterelles at all. I don't know. But the tofu is tofu. Nothing really to comment on that. But it was really nice to have a nice little bit of like soft bite in comparison to like the tough bite from like the mushrooms and the noodle. And also the tofu did absorb some of the dashi. It's just that I ate it so quickly you couldn't really tell. And also since I didn't really heat up the tofu as well, it's like nice cold hot contrast. The egg. Oh, of course, the egg. The egg added actually a lot more than I thought. Nice little bits of texture, the egg white, and I think the egg yolk itself, since I punctured it and put it into the noodle soup, the broth, it added a nice richness from the yolk, and that actually helps build on more flavor into the soup stock as well. There's so many layers and layers of delicious flavors that just work really well, and I'm such a mushroom guy. I love mushrooms. So this was... Oh, that was so good. Oh, I got nothing to say. I'm tired now. Oh boy. You know that thing that happens when you eat carbs? And you sit down and you don't like go run a mile because you need to let your food digest. Oh man, I am going to die. I'm gonna take such a long nap. You have no idea. That being said, I think I'm gonna end stream today because I'm feeling that, like, I'm feeling the food coma come in. The food coma, it's coming to get me. But what is it? I need to make a schedule soon. I'll try and post a schedule later tonight. I still have to figure out what I'm gonna do on the set schedule, but we'll see. Just let it be known though that this week coming, there's gonna be a lot of cooking, there's gonna be a lot of baking, there's gonna be a lot of other things. It's just nice. It's gonna be a nice little time, you know. I got a lot of time for myself next week, so I'm gonna try to make the best of it. All right, let's see. Who should we go raid?
Oh my god, what the
Oh, okay, hi there. Did we go raid? I raided them earlier. Oh my god, wait, Pepper! Pepper, oh shoot. Hold on, let me go. We're gonna go raid Pepper then. Alright. Is Salty tired? Yeah, I'm really tired. Ugh. Because it's a lot of carbs, you know? It's a lot of carbs to eat and consume all in one sitting. Alright, well, I am gonna send you all to Miss Mix Pepper Rainey. Ugh. Alright, so, thank you all for tuning in today, though. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening. Tired. Have I made that prevalent enough? Like, I'm like sleepy. I'm not gonna make it, guys. Les, I'm gonna fall asleep. Alright. Thank you all for tuning in today's stream. I hope you have a good rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening. And I will see you around maybe tomorrow? I'm not sure. I haven't figured that out yet. But I'll see you soon. Alright? Go tell Pepper I said hi. Here is our raid message if you want to use that. People on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening as well. And I will see you all around when I see you next. Otsukichi, everyone, and ciao. Good night. Bye-bye.